Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my reading plans for both May and June. I've got some things happening, so it was easier for me to film this to be read plan video in combination rather than as separate months. So I'm going to launch into my list, and I hope that me being ambitious really suits how my reading goes in May and June. Kicking this off with a wild card is Dragon Rider, because I requested this from a publisher, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So whether it happens or not, I will let you know. But this one follows a fearless orphan and an ambitious handmaiden who have to flee their empire, and they flee with a dragon hatchling, and then they have to hide from being hunted down and also learn the magic to bond with this dragon, which sounds just awesome. Honestly, any fantasy book that incorporates dragons and magic, I'm always down for. So I'm eager to try this one out, and it comes out, or it came out on the 1st of May, depending on when I post this. Future me will figure it out, but I don't know today. And then I've got The Dragons of Deepwood Fen, which is obviously another fantasy dragon book of epic proportions. I don't know anything about this from memory because in my mind, I feel like I've meshed this together with Dragon Rider. So I feel a bit awkward about doing that. I hope I like it. The cover's pretty. I've got this on ebook, so I can't hold it up yet. And I think it's a new release, so it must have come out maybe at the beginning of this year. It definitely came out before May, but I've just not had the chance to get to it yet. So my hope is that while I'm on the move, I can read my Kindle a lot, and this one will hopefully get read that way. Then I've got two sapphic, which means female-female romances that are also cozy fantasy books. Whether I get these from the publisher or not, I don't know, but I'm interested in reading them regardless. So we'll see if I'm able to buy these at some point. The first one is The Honey Witch, and this follows a protagonist who has no interest in the suitors that her family are putting before her. And so when her grandmother offers her the position of Honey Witch on, I think, this island, and the magic and training that is required to go along with that, she says yes, but the Honey Witch is not allowed to have a romantic relationship. And on this island, she starts to fall for this girl that she makes friends with. So I'm really looking forward to this really cute magic infused romance fantasy book. And then also the other sapphic cozy fantasy is Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, and this one follows two characters who have left this queen or this princess, and they want to retire to a cozy cottage, grow plants, drink coffee, and just chill out. And that is a vibe I can get behind. One of the characters I think was an assassin and the other is a mage, and so they're trying to cut ties with their previous life, and it's really hard to disentangle themselves when they thought it would be a little bit easier. So it is chronicling them, I guess, as they try and reinvent themselves, which I am a fan of. I like that vibe of being cozy and relaxed and unbothered, because who doesn't? Both of those, by the way, come out on the 14th of May, I think. And then another cozy fantasy book about witches living secretly in society and creating a found family is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. And I've heard that the magic of witches is traceable, so they try not to use it. And this character has been brought on as almost a nanny for this household, and she then makes friends with the people and the staff in the household. I could be entirely wrong, but that is the general gist that I get. And this book has done the rounds, and I am very late to the party. But now that the weather is getting colder, I'm gonna pull out all the cozy stops that I can. So that is why 3 cozy fantasies are on this list. Then we pivot into non-fiction, and it gets dark very immediately with The Myth of Normal, which chronicles the link between Western culture and mental health regarding the physical body. And it's written by a clinician who has studied these links for the past 4 decades. I think as a non-fiction, this is fairly well known, but it's very new to me. And because it's so popular, I guess, I wanted to try it. So I borrowed the audiobook from Libby, or I've put it on hold with Libby. So hopefully while I am out and about, it comes up for me to listen to, probably while I'm sitting on a train somewhere. So I'm looking forward to trying this one and seeing if I like it. Non-fiction, I can usually figure out whether I'm going to like it from the first chapter. So if I don't like it, at least I won't waste too much time. And then an additional non-fiction that I wanted to listen to was Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this is about how to build better habits in your life and how to make small changes that garner big results. And as somebody who has tried to build different habits for myself, specifically making time to read more physical pages rather than scroll Instagram, because when I'm tired, it's just easier to scroll because I can turn my brain off that way. Whereas picking up a book, I have to actively motivate myself to do it. Trying to build a habit like that into my daily, so I barely have to think about doing it in the future, like in the rolling future, would be ideal. But I think reading this book might help me figure out a few more nuances of how to employ those different tactics and build those habits in not just reading, but in other facets of my life. And it's a 6-hour audiobook, which for me is probably 3 hours. So hopefully if I like the style of it, then I can get into it. I read his blog a fair bit, so I thought, I may as well try his book. I feel like it's just more of the same, but a bit longer. So I think I'll like it. Cross your fingers for me. Then I had a big surprise and Libby was like, hey, you know that thing that you notified yourself for? Well, it has now come in. We are getting copies of this audiobook, and that is The Fragile Threads of Power, which I feel like it frees me up. Ironically, given that I wanted to read more physical pages, I'm already subverting that expectation of myself by trying the audiobook of this instead, because it's got a few weeks wait, but I think at a certain point when I'm traveling, this will be doable more so an audiobook. Also, I'm not traveling with a book this size. Be real, it's not going to happen. So the fact that I am doing a whole reading challenge for myself from almost now until the end of July to try and finish my unread books, like my whole TBR pile, this was kind of looming over my head. But now that I've got it as an audiobook, I feel renewed. I feel a bit more versatile when I approach it. And I feel like I could finish this and a bunch of other things before the end of July. So I'm just excited, to be honest. I think that it's going to be a great time in terms of me being able to finish my TBR. This one being a great time, I'm still on the fence about. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. But again, just need to start it, just need to figure it out. Audiobooks make that easy to do if the narrator's not too bad. And then lastly, on this to be read 2-month plan, there's probably going to be a lot of plot twists in terms of what I end up picking up reading depending on how I feel, because I'm a huge mood reader. So I'm hoping to do my reread of The Way of Kings, which I've mentioned in a few to be read videos so far this year, and I haven't actually motivated myself to do it, mostly because I've been tired, distracted, and just overwhelmed with life and tasks that I need to do. And so I haven't looked at this and gone, that seems feasible, because it's 1,000 pages long and it's a high epic fantasy. And yes, I've reread it more than once, so you'd think it wouldn't be that hard to approach, but apparently it is. It's not necessarily part of my reading my entire to be read pile before the end of July, but it's a goal that I'm also doing in tandem. And before now, it was unspoken, but now that I've spoken it into the world, I hope that it can happen. I also looked at my list and I did not have any new releases listed for June. So if I'm missing any, I apologize, because I genuinely could not think of any. But anyway, those are all of the books that I am hoping to get to and read during May and June. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know how many books you want to read in May and June. I would love to know, but thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.